SQLite, interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. SQLite is a lightweight, serverless, self-contained relational database management system, RDBMS. SQLite is widely used for mobile applications, embedded systems, desktop applications, local storage, browser storage, testing environments. SQLite provides zero configuration, lightweight architecture, ACID compliance, serverless operation, fast local database access. 1 to 20. SQLite Basics. What is SQLite? SQLite is a lightweight embedded relational database engine. Why use SQLite? Lightweight, serverless, zero configuration, portable database file. Is SQLite server-based? No, SQLite is serverless. What does serverless mean in SQLite? No separate database server process is required. Where is SQLite commonly used? Android apps, iOS apps, desktop apps, browsers. What is a database? Organized collection of structured data. What is a table? Collection of rows and columns. What is a row? Single record in a table. What is a column? Field storing specific type of data. Create table example. Create table users. ID integer primary key name text. What is primary key? Unique identifier for each row. What is integer primary key in SQLite? Auto-incrementing row identifier. What data types does SQLite support? Integer, text, real, blob, null. Insert data example. Insert into user's name, values John. Select query example. Select star from users. Filters query results. Where example. Select star from users where ID equals 1. Update query example. Update users set name equals Mike where ID equals 1. Delete query example. Delete from users where ID equals 1. What is SQL? Structured query language for database operations. 21 to 40. SQLite queries and constraints. What is constraint in SQLite? Rule applied to database columns. Common SQLite constraints. Cut primary key. Cut unique. Cut not null. Cut check. Foreign key. What is not null constraint? Name text not null. What is unique constraint? Email text unique. What is check constraint? Check age greater than 0. Relationship between tables. Foreign key example. Foreign key user ID references user's ID. What is join in SQLite? Combines rows from multiple tables. Inner join example. Select from orders O. Inner join users U on O.user_ID equals U.ID. What is left join? Returns all left table rows and matching right rows. What is order by? Select colon from users, order by name. What is group by? Select city, count from users, group by city. What is having clause? Filters grouped results. What is limit clause? Select star from users, limit 5. What is distinct keyword? Select distinct city from users. What is aggregate function? Count, sum, AVG, max, min. Count example. Select count star from users. What is alias in SQL? Select name as username from users. What is subquery? Query inside another query. Subquery example. Select star from users, where ID in, select user ID from orders. 41 to 70. Transactions, indexes, and advanced SQLite. What is transaction? Group of operations executed together. Transaction example. Begin transaction. Commit. What is ACID property? Atomicity, consistency, isolation, durability. Is SQLite ACID compliant? Yes. What is rollback? Rollback. What is index in SQLite? Data structure improving query performance. Create index example. Create index IDX name on user's name. Why use indexes? Faster queries. Optimize searching. What are disadvantages of indexes? Slower inserts. Increase storage. What is composite index? Index on multiple columns. Composite index example. Create index IDX user email on user's name email. Improving database performance. What is normalization? Organizing database to reduce redundancy. Common normalization forms? Check. 1NF? Check. 2NF? Free NF. What is denormalization? Adding redundancy for performance. What is vacuum in SQLite? Vacuum. Why use vacuum? Rebuilds database and frees unused space. What is pragma in SQLite? Special SQLite configuration command. Pragma example. Pragma foreign keys equals on. Write ahead logging mode. Why use WAL mode? Better concurrency, improved performance. WAL mode example. Pragma journal mode equals WAL. What is prepared statement? Precompiled SQL query. Security, performance, prevents SQL injection. What is SQL injection? Malicious SQL execution attack. What is parameterized query? Query using placeholders safely. Parameterized query example. Select star from users where ID equals question mark. What is blob in SQLite? Binary large object storage. What is auto increment? Automatically increasing integer value. Auto increment example. ID integer primary key auto increment. 71 to 100. SQLite architecture and best practices. What is SQLite database file? Single file storing entire database. Advantages of SQLite file-based storage. COT portability. COT easy backup. COT simple deployment. What is locking in SQLite? Mechanism controlling concurrent access. SQLite concurrency limitation. Limited write concurrency. Prevents modifications during reading. What is write lock? Prevents simultaneous writes. What is in-memory database? Memory. Why use in-memory database? Testing. Temporary storage. Fast execution. What is SQLite CLI? Command line interface for SQLite. Open SQLite database example. SQLite 3 app.db. Export database example. .dump. What is schema in SQLite? Structure of database objects. What is view in SQLite? Virtual table based on query. View example. Create view active users as select star from users. What is trigger in SQLite? Automatically executed action. Trigger example. Create trigger log insert after insert on users. Common SQLite interview topics. True, CRUD operations. Joins, indexes, transactions, normalization. Common SQLite problems. Database locking. Check performance bottlenecks. Concurrency limitations. Best practices for SQLite H. Use indexes wisely. Enable foreign keys. Use transactions. What is database migration? Managing schema changes over time. What is ORM with SQLite? Object relational mapping layer. Common ORM supporting SQLite. Hibernate, Room, SQLize. What is Room database? Android persistence library using SQLite. SQLite versus MySQL. SQLite is embedded. MySQL is server-based. SQLite versus PostgreSQL. SQLite is lightweight. PostgreSQL is enterprise-grade. When should SQLite not be used? Heavy concurrent writes. Large distributed systems. How to become strong in SQLite? Practice SQL queries. Learn indexing. Optimize transactions. Biggest SQLite interview concept? Lightweight embedded relational database design. Key SQLite interview focus. SQL queries, transactions, indexing, and optimization. Why is SQLite popular? Lightweight, portable, and zero configuration database engine. Final summary. SQLite interviews focus on CRUD operations, joins and queries, transactions and ACID, indexes and optimization, normalization, constraints and relationships, SQLite architecture, database best practices. Key idea. Strong SQLite developers understand relational database design, query optimization, and lightweight embedded database architecture.